You might find this hard to believe, but some of the most effective support for aging eyes doesn't come from prescriptions, procedures, or eye drops. It comes from everyday nuts you may already have at home. And that matters, because vision changes after 60 are rarely just about needing stronger glasses. We're talking about eyes that burn or sting when you read, headlights that feel blinding at night, dark spots, halos, or hazy patches, things that make it harder to recognize faces, enjoy a sunset, or cross a busy street safely. I've spoken with people who once drove confidently at night and now avoid it completely. Others tell me they've stopped reading because their eyes tire too quickly, and many quietly admit something that weighs heavily on them. I'm scared because my vision feels like it's slowly slipping away. If that sounds familiar, you're not imagining it, and you're not alone. What many people experience isn't simply normal aging. In many cases, it's the result of years of nutrient depletion, reduced blood flow to the retina, and low-grade inflammation, quietly stressing the delicate tissues inside the eyes. Here's something most people never hear. Your eyes, just like your brain, rely heavily on nighttime repair. But those repair processes only work if the right nutrients are available. Without them, even a full night's sleep may not be enough to support recovery. Now for the good news. There are simple, natural ways to support your eyes and protect vision as you age. No prescriptions, no procedures, no expensive eye drops. Just everyday nutrition from specific nuts. Nuts that help supply the building blocks your eyes depend on, especially during overnight recovery. Some of these changes are surprisingly simple. You can start applying them as soon as today. In this video, I'll walk you through several nuts that quietly support eye health, circulation, and retinal protection as we age. And chances are, you already have at least one of them in your kitchen. Number 1. Pistachios. Pistachios don't always get mentioned when people talk about eye health, but they should. They offer something the eyes rely on heavily, especially as we age, and especially during nighttime repair. What makes pistachios stand out is their high content of lutein and zeaxanthin. These two compounds are carotenoids that naturally accumulate in the retina, particularly in the macula, the part of the eye responsible for sharp, central vision. Think of them as internal sunglasses. They help filter harmful blue light and reduce oxidative stress, stress that builds up from years of screen use, sunlight exposure, and normal aging. As lutein and zeaxanthin levels decline, many people begin noticing changes. Increased glare sensitivity, difficulty seeing in low light, slower visual processing, headlights feel harsher, night driving becomes stressful, reading small print takes more effort. Pistachios are one of the few nuts that provide meaningful amounts of both of these nutrients, and they come in a form the body can easily absorb because pistachios also contain healthy fats. They improve carotenoid uptake. That uptake is critical for actually delivering these compounds to the eye tissue where they're needed. Consider Robert, 73. He noticed bright lights bothered him more, especially in the evening. He described it as a sharp glare that lingered longer than it should. After learning about lutein and zeaxanthin, he began adding a small serving of pistachios to his evening snack a few nights a week. Over time, he felt more comfortable in low-light situations, and nighttime glare became less intense. Pistachios also provide vitamin B6 and potassium. Both support nerve signaling and circulation. The optic nerve is still a nerve, and its function depends on steady nutrient delivery and proper electrical signaling. During sleep, when the eyes undergo repair and recalibration, these nutrients help support that process. Portion control matters here too. A small handful, about 30 to 40 pistachios, is enough. Choose unsalted or lightly salted varieties When possible, sweetened or heavily flavored versions add unnecessary stress to blood sugar and circulation. Pistachios help protect vision, where clarity matters most, quietly supporting the retina against light-related damage that builds year after year. Number 2. Almonds. Almonds are best known for heart health, but the same qualities that protect blood vessels also benefit your eyes. The retina is one of the most metabolically active tissues in the body. It needs a constant, well-regulated blood supply to deliver oxygen and nutrients, and to carry away waste products. When circulation weakens, vision often suffers. Almonds are rich in vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant that helps protect cell membranes from oxidative damage. The cells in your eyes, especially those involved in light detection, are particularly vulnerable to this type of damage because of their high fat content and constant light exposure. Vitamin E helps stabilize those cell membranes and reduce cumulative damage. Over time, studies have linked adequate vitamin E intake with a lower risk of age-related macular degeneration and slower progression of vision decline. Almonds also provide magnesium, which supports blood vessel relaxation and healthy blood flow. Improved circulation helps nourish the retina and the optic nerve, especially during overnight recovery, when tissues are repairing and regenerating. Take Susan, 71. She described her vision as washed out. Colors didn't seem as vivid, and her eyes felt dry and irritated. By the end of the day, she added a small handful of almonds to her afternoon routine, often paired with fruit or yogurt. Over several months, she noticed her eyes felt more comfortable and less fatigued. Reading in the evening became easier again. Almonds don't work overnight, but that's the point. Eye health is cumulative. Small, consistent improvements in antioxidant intake and circulation support can add up to meaningful protection over time. The key is portion size. About a small handful, roughly 10 to 15 almonds, is enough. Raw or dry roasted is best. Heavy salting or sugar coatings work against the benefits. Almonds quietly support the structures that keep vision steady, nourished, and resilient as the years pass. Number 3. Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts don't look special at first glance. They're larger, pale in color, and often overlooked in favor of flashier nuts. But nutritionally, they play a very specific and powerful role in eye health, especially during overnight recovery. Their standout nutrient is selenium. Selenium is a trace mineral, meaning you only need a small amount. But that small amount matters a great deal. The eyes are highly sensitive to oxidative stress. Every day, light exposure, aging, and inflammation create free radicals that damage delicate eye tissues, including the retina and optic nerve. Selenium is essential for activating antioxidant enzymes that neutralize those free radicals before they can cause lasting harm. As we age, selenium levels often decline due to changes in digestion and dietary patterns. Low selenium status has been associated with increased oxidative stress and higher risk of degenerative conditions, including those affecting vision. Brazil nuts are the richest natural source of selenium on the planet. Just one nut can provide close to, or even more than, the daily recommended intake. That's why moderation matters here. You don't need a handful. 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a few times a week is enough to support antioxidant defenses without overdoing it. Consider Paul, 75. He didn't have a specific diagnosis, but he noticed his eyes felt tired much earlier in the day than they used to. Reading fatigued him. Screens irritated his eyes. His ophthalmologist mentioned oxidative stress and inflammation as contributing factors. Paul began adding 1 Brazil nut to his evening snack a few times a week. Over time, his eyes felt less strained, especially at night. The change was subtle, but meaningful. Selenium also supports immune balance and thyroid function, both of which indirectly affect circulation and tissue repair, including in the eyes. During sleep, when the body performs most of its repair work, adequate selenium helps ensure those antioxidant systems are ready to do their job. Brazil nuts remind us that sometimes eye protection isn't about adding more, but about supplying one missing piece the body has been quietly running low on. And while selenium focuses on internal defense, the next nut works more on circulation and structural support. Another nut that deserves attention for health is one many people already snack on, but rarely. For this reason, if there's one thing to remember, it's this: your eyes aren't failing overnight. They're responding to years of quiet strain, reduced circulation, and missing nutrients. The good news is this: support doesn't have to come from drastic measures. Pistachios, almonds, Brazil nuts, and pumpkin seeds, they don't work like a switch you flip. They work the way the body prefers. Gradually, consistently, and in the background, they help protect delicate eye tissues, improve blood flow, and supply the nutrients your eyes rely on, especially to recover while you sleep. You don't need to eat all of these every day. Start with 1 or 2. Keep the portions small. Let consistency do the work. Over time, those small choices can help your eyes feel less strained, more comfortable, and more resilient. If this video was helpful, let us know in the comments which nut surprised you most, or which one you already enjoy. Your experience may help someone else who's quietly worried about their vision too.